Good.
Hey everybody, it's Shelley Hoffman with another episode of Real Estate I Love It. And today I am super flattered because my partner in crime, Tracey Kline, is my guest today. And Tracey is the broker owner of 315 Realty Partners. The sign that's behind her, that used to be like an open hole, right, Trace?
Yeah.
And,
Hi,
and,
everybody.
and you put our logo in there, so I absolutely love it. How you doing today, Trace?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
Nice. And this is Tracey's first video of 2021. So I'm sure you'll see her a lot more, but
Okay.
Today I wanted to talk to Tracey about the like the market, the industry. And Trace, I kind of wanted to start with anybody that wasn't aware of what COVID did to our 2020 market here in Central New York and even all over the United States. And what can you kind of tell people about it?
Well, I think in the beginning when everybody didn't know really what was going on and we weren't sure what we could and couldn't do, things were a little scary. I mean, everybody was kind of concerned about going into homes, letting people into their homes. And, we didn't know what was going on. But as we kind of got more and more into it and, listened to our New York State Association of Realtors tell us what guidelines to follow, we kind of eased into it and kind of made our way. And, we were able to help our clients and the public understand what we were doing to help keep people safe. And I think once we did that, our market took off and we kind of, we lost a little bit of time and it kind of pushed our market into maybe another month and a half beyond where it normally would have been.
Right.
But I think we finally got into our groove.
Well, and the one piece that people didn't maybe realize is the Department of State at some point had said nobody can enter, a seller's property. So they were actually trying to get buyers to buy sight unseen with a contingency of a walkthrough. What did you think about that when that came out, Trace?
Well, we did that. I mean, it was hard. We all had to learn technology differently and how to use it differently, both, and how to market a property and how to show a property. And we had to be able to help our clients navigate it and kind of keep their fears at ease and, let them know that there were guidelines and that we were looking out for their best interests. And, I think we all had a lot to learn, but we got through it and we did it.
Yeah. And then the crazy thing to me was it was still a seller's market. I mean, the inventory was low, but the buyers were still coming out.
Right. I think once people realized that, we kind of got control of what we had to do and what we were all required to do as realtors, they felt more comfortable. And, we started listing properties like we normally did. But, we had guidelines that we follow and we still are following. We're very strict with them, and brokers are helping their agents, navigate through it and making sure that we are following the guidelines.
One piece that I found that was interesting is we've always been taught you don't work with a buyer who's not pre-approved, right? They need proof of funds, they need the pre-approval. And in talking to buyers, at least on my end, I'm sure you did as well, it was always stressed. We always made it important, but talking to a buyer that didn't see the importance of it before, when you said, would you want somebody coming through your home that was more of like to use the term looky-loo, they weren't a serious buyer, knowing what they could bring in. So I think it emphasized the importance of the pre-approval in, you really shouldn't be walking through people's homes unless you are a serious buyer, right?
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. We definitely, there's without a doubt, there's been benefits. And we've learned as realtors to, work with our clients more closely and, clients making them understand that, we have to follow guidelines and we have to keep everybody safe. And that means if you're not in the market to actually buy and you're not pre-approved, then we're not going to be bringing you into people's houses and putting not only them at risk, but ourselves at risk as well.
Yeah, I thought that was probably one of the most interesting, the technology piece, like you said, like learning how to do the virtual showing, stepping up that game. Yeah. And you have Zoom, you have Google Hangouts, you have Facebook Messenger. There actually is a lot of different ways that you can do virtual showings, which I think made it easier for out-of-state people, that are moving in, more people comfortable showing houses that way too, if you want to look at a positive.
Yeah, I worked with several buyers who bought homes sight unseen. They didn't see the home until they did home inspection. Some people didn't even go to the home inspection. We did that virtually as well. So, we made it work.
Yeah.
And in technology, thank goodness we have the technology to do it. And, there's a lot of, like you said, a lot of programs out there that, they're available to everybody. So it definitely made it much easier. You just had to learn them and be able to implement them.
And we've always had the ability for electronic signings to, that people didn't have to come into the office. I know I like that face to face. I want to make sure that I see their face to when I'm explaining a purchase offer or
Right.
what a contingency is. I like that rapport. And we could do it via Zoom, if need be, or like I said, Google Hangouts, Facebook Messenger. But we've always been able to send things electronically. I just think more people became comfortable with it in 2020.
Right. I mean, it definitely increased our workloads as far as more steps involved. I know for me, absolutely. But I think for most of us, we had to incorporate all those different technologies and do things a little bit differently so that we can make sure that our clients understood not only, if they were writing a purchase offer, but listing. And so there's definitely more work involved, even though we might not be doing some things face to face with people. We're still doing a lot more, I think, than what we were prior to COVID.
I agree. So taking what happened in the 2020 market, whether it was COVID, it was going to probably be a seller's market anyway. What are your thoughts as we go into the 2021 housing market?
So 2020 ended very, very strong. We high demand, low supply equals higher prices. And we're seeing the same thing heading into 2021. People are still moving. People are still, the same reasons that people sell and buy are still here. That hasn't changed. But what we have seen, and I think as a result of COVID, is that people are realizing, employers are realizing that people can work remotely. And how that translates to the real estate industry is that people do not need to live in close proximity to their main office or their main headquarters. They can work remotely. So what that means is people are moving closer to relatives. So they're selling or buying. So I think that's increased our demand.
The other piece of that, and that is all 100% accurate, is when you spend that much time in your home, a lot of people are looking around thinking, is it worth doing the upgrades that I want to do, or should I be looking for something different, right? Or there's not enough space for me to work from home, and that's what I want to do. Did you find that too?
Yeah, absolutely. People are buying larger homes to accommodate. If you have two workers in the home and they're both working from home, they want two offices or a bigger office. If they have kids working remotely for school at home, they want a space for the kids. So that is definitely translating over to let's get a different house for sure.
Do you feel that we're going to have a lot of those multiple offers again? And maybe explain multiple offers for anybody that's not exactly sure what that means when they hear the term?
Yes. There's multiple offers for a number of reasons, and that means people, there's a property on the market. There's, again, low supply, high demand. So a lot of buyers out there, not a lot of inventory. So that means that there are a lot of buyers that are looking at those houses and a lot of buyers that are putting offers in on them. So sellers are still seeing multiple offers on houses. They're still seeing, over list price offers or at list price. And, they're still selling rather quickly.
Do you think it's going to be another year where people are trying to remove those contingencies to be more attractive of an offer? Because what I find, and I'm sure you do too, is sometimes you start off and say, I want every contingency. I'm not going over asking price, right? Because they're trying to buy the house the way they bought it 10 years ago or the way their parents taught them how to buy a house. Do you think it's going to be a lot of that learning process of how this market is again?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, if you're competing against, 5 other people or 20 other people, you're gonna, do everything you can to make your offer the most attractive, and that translates into higher pricing, better condition, better terms, better, less contingencies, all that stuff.
So that kicks me into my last question, unless some people ask us questions as we're going through here. But what advice do you have for the buyers and the sellers who are entering the market, Trace? Because it's a fast time to get into it, and the education process. When it's a buyer's market or a stable or a stable market, you have a little bit more time to process, right? But if this is going to be a fast market again, so what advice do you have for them as they prep to enter this market?
Well, my answer is always get with a realtor. Sit with a realtor, have them explain the process, have them review the current market conditions with them. They will coach you. They will get you through this. It's not an easy process on your own because it is very fast moving. And just like what we were saying earlier, you have to know, pricing. You have to know if something is underpriced for this particular market or if it's overpriced already. And that information comes from somebody who's experienced. That comes from a realtor. So that person, a realtor is going to be able to coach you through that process and, and help you prepare. Because if you go in not knowing, what's needed and what you're going to need to have already done to be able to put in an offer, even like you mentioned earlier, you have to have a pre-approval to go in and see homes. You just cannot go in this type of market in these types of conditions without being pre-approved. So, realtor is going to coach you through that stuff, and that's your first starting point, no matter what. Buying or selling.
That and to get the sellers to understand that how important the pre-approval is and what a pre-approval when you submit, if it is multiple offers, if people are often think in the seller's market for sell by owner, I can sell my home fast. But if you receive 5 offers and you take the offer just because it has the most cash coming with it, that's not always necessarily the best offer. Those terms could end up lowering the amount that you walk away with at the closing table, right?
Right. Terms are very important. If you're working with an experienced realtor and they can, coach you through that process, you don't always know what you're looking at as far as different lenders, different contingencies that might be written in there, certain questions to ask. That could get you in a tough situation. Realtors, we work with it every day. We see some of the ways that people are getting around the system out there, and we can spot that.
Yep. So just give us a rundown, Trace. I mean, it's only January 19th, I think, today when we're talking. Yeah. So we're 19 days in the 2021 market, and what does it already look like for you?
For me, it's very crazy. Lots of listings, lots of new buyers, lots of first-time home buyers. It's very exciting. I feel like we are we're coming to the other side of this whole thing, and I think people feel confident. I think they feel confident in their careers and where they want to be, and I think people in general are feeling more optimistic, and so real estate is most often the biggest purchase in someone's life. Yep. So, I don't see that what we've been through, I don't think that's hampered people from making that decision, like you said, to make that life change, to move and to make the choice to purchase real estate or to change their current living conditions. So, I think it's going to be a really, really steady, great market. I'm really looking forward to it because I think we're going to see a lot of great things this year. So,
I definitely agree with you, and it's not because I think you're the best broker owner in Baldwinsville, New York. By the way, she's my broker owner in Baldwinsville, New York. So I might be pointing favoritism. But I appreciate, Trace. I've said for years that the knowledge and stuff that you carry on, the education that you give your clients, and that's why I thought it was great to start off 2021 with you giving some information out there, especially to our community and anybody else that happens to catch this video. So thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome.
Sure. I will chat to you soon.
Okay. Bye-bye.